Hey guys, hi, it's Christina Kasky here. I am going to give it a shot at making candles. I have not done this before. I ordered just a little cheapy candle making kit just to play with it a bit before I get too crazy serious about it. It's been on my list of things I want to do and I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I thought I would let you guys hang out with me today and see how it goes. Yeah, so we're gonna wing it a bit. I've decided to start with just this little glass canning jar. I'm just giving it a quick clean out here with some rubbing alcohol just to make sure it's nice and clean. I'll probably, well, I'll make a lot, but I figured I would just start with one and see how she goes. Learn how to make the thing and all that stuff and see what mistakes I make and so on. So my jar is nice and clean. I've got this soy wax. It doesn't actually tell me what kind it is on the bag. I'm sure it might have been included in the ad, but it's not giving me much here. So let me see what we've got here. Yeah, it just says that it's soy wax. So we'll play with it. It doesn't really give me a ton of instructions there. It refers to going online and looking at instructions. So I'm not gonna get too wild about it. I did guess, I guess, a bit. I filled this with water. It came up, it filled almost to the brim at 215 grams. I suspect the weight might be a little bit different when it comes to wax. I'm not sure how that plays out. So I'm gonna do the 215, expecting to have a little bit extra. And then, because I won't fill it to the brim, I'll just fill it to the ledge here. So then what I'll do is I'm just gonna fill one of these little donut hole molds. And I thought I would give that a try as well and just, you know, try all the things all at once. The fragrance I'm using is Volcano from Windy Point. It's a Capri Blue dupe. I really like this fragrance. It's very citrusy and spring summery, very orangey. I really like this one a lot. It is actually one of my staples for my soaps, although I happen to be sold out at the moment, because if you happen to be around for some of my videos, there was a soap that I did that was accidentally unscented. I called it Sunset. That is the one. Okay, I'm not trusting this now. It feels like I said 215, but I feel like 215 is going to be a lot of wax. Oh, well, we shall see. Maybe as it melts down, it's not so much. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a whole bunch of little donut wax melts out of it too. We'll see. So we'll do that. I don't want to seal back up there. So I'm going to start with just using the microwave. Definitely understand there's other ways to do it. Hopefully one day I'll have a wax melter. I don't think I'm going to bother going with the heat plate and pot. I feel like that's just a step in the middle of where I would end up going just straight to a wax melter anyways. So for now, I'm just going to use the microwave. And it says to just do it in 1 minute bursts, and then to keep checking until you get to 80 degrees. Keep checking the wax until it hits 80 degrees. So we will do that. While it's working on melting, I'm going to grab one of these guys. Again, I'm a little bit, again, this is just my first time and doing it for funsies and whatever, but they really didn't, a lot of the videos I've been watching on YouTube and stuff have said, you know, specific wicks for specific candle sizes and waxes and all kinds of stuff. I have no idea. It doesn't tell me anywhere what this one is, so it's just gonna be a surprise. I got my little jar there. I'm not 100% sure how you get this out. Maybe. Well, it's not very well centered on my little dude, but it's on there. All right. Already harder than it looks. Okay, I think I've got it centered there, but I need something to push it down with, make sure it's good and stuck. I don't know if some wixes are stronger than others for stiffness and whatnot, but I noticed that one already is bending a little bit towards the bottom. Not sure what that's about. If I remember right, yeah, this guy did come with the little wick holders, which is awesome. So I'll have that for when I need it. I won't put it on tight yet till we poured. And in fact, I put it that way, but then I vaguely remember it's supposed to go this way. Yeah, that fits nicer that way. I'll do that. So I just had it in for 2 minutes and it's not quite melted yet all the way, so I'm doing another minute and then I'll check on it again. I'm not going to do any colorant in the candle itself this go round. I didn't buy any candle colorants, I guess. So I'm not going to do them this go round, but I thought about, because they say pigments can be used, but they shouldn't be used. There's a whole thing. I'm just going to choose not to use it in the candle, but there seems to be quite a few people who felt like having a small amount of pigment, just a teensy bit, almost as the colorant as the accent to your embed, would be okay. So that's what I'm gonna do, is just that little teensy bit in there and just work it around a bit. And we'll have a little bit of color that way for this one, and we'll see what that looks like. And as I said at the beginning of the video, it's my very first time. Do not take whatever it is I'm doing as the way to do it. That would be silly at this point. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do some more research on that 80-degree thing because I'm at 120 right now. So I may have overheated this, which kind of sucks, but whatever, it is what it is. We'll have to wait for it to get down quite a bit. I think it needs to get to 70. Does it say anything in here? Of course not. Oh, wait. Temperature of the room should be about 70 degrees Celsius if the room is too cold. That has to do with the room. Well, my flash point on this fragrance oil is 200 degrees, so I don't think I have to worry about that too terribly much. I'll wait a little bit longer here anyways, but I don't think I have to wait for it to cool off that much. I think we'll just let it cool just a little bit more. And then one of the things that I was hearing, or again, everything I'm getting at this point is from YouTube and a little bit of reading online that I've been doing, but it was talking about pouring really slowly to avoid little holes in your candles. That makes sense. I watched a gentleman this morning who was like, you don't have to worry about it with soy wax. It doesn't do with soy wax. And then 3 out of his 6 candles did it. So I'm going to assume, yes, pouring your candles too hot and pouring them with too fast will cause those. So I'm going to try my best to avoid all of that nonsense, and we'll see see how that goes. What else? Yeah, at this point I'm just playing a waiting game, I think. Waiting for this to cool off enough because it's still 110, 6.3, and it's moving around a bit here, 110. So we'll let it do its thing. I'm wearing my gardening apron here today. Earlier this morning I was doing up a quick batch of the foaming sugar scrub base, and I forgot to put it on, and of course my shirt's dirty already because, as we know, messy sober. So I got it on. All of my other aprons, I did finally buy some more aprons, yay, because I desperately needed them because I'm so messy. They're in. I took them all home. I'm going to put my logo, Forever Board Soapery, on them. So they're all at home, so that's why I'm wearing this one today. And then once I have them all beautified up, I should have them back next week for you guys to check out. I think they're gonna look really good though. They just basic. It's got my little goat and the Forever Board Soapery on it. It should look pretty cute. I am going to just put you guys on pause here for a few minutes just so that this can come down in temperature, and then I'll bring you back and we will add the fragrance oil. Okay guys, I'm chickening out a little bit here. So let's assume if 70 degrees Fahrenheit is room temperature, if I wait till 80 degrees and then add the fragrance oil, is it not going to be too cold and start to harden? Question mark. So I'm chickening out. I'm at 94 degrees. I'm gonna add my fragrance oil. I could be making a mistake. I will find out. It's probably just me being impatient, but we're gonna go for it. So I'm just gonna add in very slowly. I did 10% fragrance oil. I think that is the max based on what I've been seeing on some of the videos. I could be wrong there. This particular fragrance oil had no limit. It was 100%, wasn't a problem, but of course can't do that. So I went with the full 10%. I really wanted a strong candle. I know some people don't like the really strong fragrances. I personally do. So being that this one's gonna be my tester, I went all out for it. So we're at the full 10%. And I'm just giving it a really good mix here. I'm not sure how long you need to mix it for, so we'll go a little while and see where she lands. I really love this smell. Like seriously, I'll probably run it in the shop here today if it, actually no I won't. I guess it's gotta cure longer than that. Getting excited now. As I make a few of these kind of tester ones, if you're interested in testing one out for me, I definitely appreciate it. I'll do up a few in the jars just to see how my fragrance load is, make sure everything's burning properly, the wick is good, there's no soot, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to be a tester for me and try some out, let me know. It would be pretty cool to have a few people testing it out. It'll go much faster than just me doing it for sure. And then once I'm happy with my recipe and the waxes and everything else that I'm using, I'll start selling them, but I'm not going to do that right off the hop. I want to first get a really good understanding of making sure everything's good. And again, with this one just being a practice one, I don't know enough about the wax and the wick and everything right now. So okay, so we are at 78 degrees, so clearly 80 would still be hot enough. It didn't melt, but I'm gonna choose that now is the time to pour, I hope. And we're gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm going to pour super, super slow because I want to try and avoid any of those holes in my wick, or in my candle. I'll definitely probably get some dyes for the candles. I feel like I enjoy colored candles, so I'll definitely be going that route at some point. Okay, so that's probably about a 200-gram candle would be my guess. I didn't weigh it there, but that's my guess. And I'm just gonna fill these little guys. Now my hope with the one that I've added color to is that I'm gonna add that one to the top of this candle. That was a little extra decoration. And then the other ones, since there's a lot more here than I would have expected, maybe it can be wax melts. Or maybe I'll love these candles so much that I'll make more of them with the little donuts on them. But let's be honest, I did donuts with a citrusy scent. I don't know that that makes sense, but that's what it is. Oh my goodness, and there's still gonna be wax left over. Okay, so clearly maybe it was 115 and I did it wrong. I have lots left over. So before I get too worked up over that, I just want to make my wick. Slide into the little wick holder, which it does not appear to be doing. What the heck? Maybe it's not supposed to slide into it. Maybe it's just supposed to. That doesn't really make sense to me. And it doesn't look like it's in the middle either. It's got to slide over. There we go. You just have to be rough with it. Okay, so that's good. And I need another container. Got some cute little stars here. Try them. I'm gonna do the big ones. I feel like that's a wax melt holder size. Just the teeniest, tiniest little bit left here. Okay. And I'm going to get in here and try and get the wax. This will be my official candle container for now. I don't really use it much for soaping anymore. Hasn't really done, I just have better things, so. Wiped it all out really good. And then the other thing that I heard was to rubbing alcohol it up really well also. So we'll do that. All right, so potato is good. Candle is setting. Wax melts are now setting. I'm sure that's what I did, is instead of 215, it should have been 115. So my guess, just based on how much I have here, which is fine. That's what you get for not writing it down. But yeah, so we'll wait. I'll bring you guys back here once they have hardened up and we'll take a good look at them. Okay guys, we are back. I don't know, it's been a couple hours. It hasn't been too terribly long. But we're dry, we're cured, I don't dry, I guess, not melted anymore. So I'm just popping out all of my little stars. And they smell so good. Now, when I went to move this onto my tray, I learned that it needs to be on the tray first, obviously, so that I don't spill. So I got those little edges there. And again, super cute. And I will sell these guys. I'll work together some packaging here and get the wax melts sold. I think they're pretty safe to say that they're good for sale. little donut. And maybe do some sort of a package. I don't know how many I've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So maybe a 6-pack somehow. No, one's going on my candle, so that won't work. I'll figure it out. Maybe 4 packs or something. Just cute little donuts. Or maybe, because these are my first ones, and I don't have colors in them yet, so they're not kind of sharp. They're not anything spectacular that make you just dying to buy them when they're just clear color like that. Maybe what I'll do is I'll hand these guys out as samples, and then when I color the next batch, then I'll be able to kind of show that one, sell them at that point. I think that's what I'll maybe do. So not a fan of this. That was me adding my little bit of color to the top. Don't like it at all. It actually went through, so it might be better off to actually mix it in to that color. And if you're gonna do it that way, I don't know. I probably just won't use pigment again. I will get myself the candle dyes, the actual stuff. So that was cool. I'm pretty happy with the little waxy melts. And then we've got our candle here. And it's just taking off the little dude. So I'll show you guys. I had a little bit of sinkage. I don't know if you can actually see it. There's just the tiniest bit there on the top where it kind of pulled around the wick and then just indented a bit. It's not really a sink hole per se, but it's there. So I'm gonna go ahead and zap it with my heat gun here. Okay. And then I'll be honest, I really don't like this. I'm not even gonna put it on. I'm gonna take the other one. This guy here, got some nice little things going on. And I'm gonna put it on instead. Wish me luck. Okay, so I don't think my wick is in the center. I think it's a little bit over to the left there, just based on putting this little dude in here. That kind of sucks, but whatever. So the guy I was watching, I don't know, yesterday, some point in time, they were talking about if you decide to do something like this where you put the little dude around it, to actually have your wick be a little bit higher. So normally it's that 1/4 inch, but to actually go higher, because you need to allow for that extra wax space to be dealt with, which makes sense. So we're going to grab my scissors. And we'll go in here. And what I'm gonna do, because I can always go down more later if I have to, is I'm gonna cut it. I cut it 1/4 inch above the little dude. And then I figure once it burns down, if my thing's too high, I can always cut it more, which I probably will have to do. I don't know. So then the only other thing that I read or did research on is that I need to wait a few days for this to cure because it's a soy candle. So I think I'm just gonna put this beauty on my table here and we'll see what she does. Oh, I found a couple of candle making test sheets to try. I'm gonna try this one first. They both basically, I think, have the same information on them. It's just, yeah. So wax type is a soy wax. I don't know the exact one. I that company, seriously, that's what I get. It was an Amazon company that I ordered from, just a kind of a starter test kit sort of deal. It doesn't tell me what kind of wax it is. It doesn't tell me what kind of wicks they are. Nothing. I tried to check online, again, nothing. So it is what it is. I wanted something cheap and fun to try, so I got something cheap and fun to try. So it talks about wicks type and size. It was a cotton wick, and that's about all I know. Fragrance used, I used the Volcano from Windy Point. Fragrance percentage, I did at 10%. Additives, I didn't end up using the one with the yellow pigment in it, so I haven't used any. Container material was glass. Diameter, I don't know. Hey, and if you guys see my pen, I've lost every pen I have in the store. I don't know where they were gone. But if you see my pen, okay, it's about 2.5 inches for the diameter. So 2.5 inches. I'm actually using my Cricut pen. Pour date was today. Anybody know what today is? I don't know. I think it's the 4th. I'll come back to that. Room temperature. I have no idea. Normal. Wax was heated to, what did we say, 120? It was high. Fragrance added at, I think I did it at about 93. My pour temperature was about, let's assume it went down a few degrees because I did it right away, but I added the fragrance, so say 90-ish. No, I remember we did 78 because I had checked it. Pouring observations, I would say it poured well. It had just the slightest, what do you call it? Cratering? I'm gonna call it cratering. Just the slightest cratering, easy to fix. We'll put. Cure time, we're gonna leave it for a few days. So today is Saturday. I don't open the store again until Tuesday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I think that's what we'll do. So that'll be 3 days, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, 3 days cure time is what we'll give it, and then I'll test it out on Tuesday when I'm back in. Other notes, I'm gonna put first ever candle. And yeah, then I've got the sheet has testing 1, 2, 3, and 4, so your different burn times to check out, and we'll see how she goes. So that was good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think I will definitely, I love the smell of these guys, give these as samples, and then yeah, that's my candle. Pretty happy with it. We'll see. I probably won't do a video per se of the burning of the candle, but what I might do is reach out and let you guys know, maybe on Instagram or Facebook, how the test went. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. So in some way I'll let you know, whether that's on another YouTube or video or on Instagram or Facebook. I'll make sure that I let you know how she went for burning time, and we'll go from there. Talk to you soon. Bye.